Mr.
Sweeney, sir, how are you?
How are you doing, Mr. Randall Reeder? It's good to hear from you.
It's great to get from you. What's going on out there in the Headwaters For Heroes world?
Well, I'm in San Angelo today. I'm going to go visit one of our Purple Heart veterans, Mr. Juan Rubio. He served as a Navy corpsman, and he saved a bunch of lives while he was over there, crawling on his belly, returning fire, and taking care of wounded Marines. And
Wow.
it's an incredible story. He's just a real neat individual. And now, to deal with his PTSD, the traumatic brain injury, he builds custom fishing rods out of his garage. And, he does a phenomenal job with it. And, we want to highlight that and show the world what this man does. And on top of that, we're going to surprise him with a fishing trip to Camelot Bell Lake over near Corsicana.
How you doing?
Doing great, man. It's great to be here with you, man.
Man, it's awesome to be here. Good
Thank
night.
you. This means the world to me, man.
Well, we're fishing together, and we usually give those out to our veterans, but this is a special occasion.
Yeah, it
to
is.
have you here.
It is.
Well, this is your gear. What we're going to be doing is going to be fishing out of the tube,
Awesome.
and we're going to put your reel and rod together right now. So it's already prepped. Let's see if I can. I've only done this once or twice.
Which will be once or twice more than I have.
There you go. This is a nice rod. It took a lot of pride and tears making this one for you.
Well, I can imagine. You did get the ones with the girdle in it?
My goal is to be able to have a fishing event with bass boats, at least 2 of them, and then 2 or 3 for the fishing tube. But what we do about 4 to 6 events every year. My name is Juan Rubio, co-founder and owner with my wife, Fishing with Docks. What we do is we build custom fishing rods to help offset a cost for an all fishing experience, fishing trip with Fishing with Docks. What we do is we take out combat veterans out on an all expense paid fishing trip, and we get them away from the element, the stressful lifestyle that they're having, get them away and give them nature therapy. We focus on different techniques on dealing with PTSD, depression, anxiety. We fish out of fishing tubes, which allows the veteran to sit on the water and just be one with nature. It's not about the one thing that we tell our veterans, that it's not about catching fish. It's about the healing process of what good Lord above has done in nature, which is part of the healing process of any type of traumatic event that a person is going through. And the whole time we give them a custom fishing rod that is built for their time, rate, and service. It's personalized to their service and branch of service. Just spend a little bit of time out in nature on the water just to recharge your batteries. Come back home knowing that you can handle and take care of the business that you have at hand. What we did was we traveled up and down the Euphrates and the Tigris River. We spent 80% of our time outside of the wire, going into areas that Marines and Army was not able to get to. We used the rivers for medevacs. Sometimes that was the quickest way to get our casualties to the next echelon of care. On that deployment, that's when I received the third highest combat award, which is the Silver Star, and I received 2 Purple Hearts for 2 occasions of that deployment. And we spent about 9-10 months out there. We did Fallujah, we did Ramadi, we did a lot of operations with the SEALs, with the Special Forces, with the Army. We did Nasiriyah again, and we did Iskandariyah, I mean, just nameless, Baghdad, just anywhere up and down the Euphrates, Haditha Dam, Haklaniya. We were just up and down the Euphrates and Tigris River. And by the time it was over, we were tired. Well, my second deployment, I was on a special boat platoon. And we were on the Euphrates and Tigris River the whole time we were deployed. So being on a watercraft is a challenge for me. Even though that I fished out of boats before my deployment, it's been a challenge to get used to it again. And I thought I was ready when I bought that boat. Apparently I wasn't. He's on. There we go.
Trade me.
Ooh.
Oh, take it. I don't want it.
Any of you.
Oh!
Did I really just do that?
That's okay.
Man, I was trying to get
Yeah, I know what you were doing.
We only had 1 or 2 on there.
Yeah.
Slick fish out here.
Yeah, sir. Pretty smart.
Hang with him. Oh, hang with him.
I don't know now.
You just keep him pulled tight.
Okay, you're good.
Get down here.
I'm gonna try to start
You on there?
easing in.
Am I okay here?
Sure. Oh!
Was it good?
I feel your pain.
You got off?
Yeah. That's
Heartbreaking.
why they love trees so much.
Since then, since I've been out, I struggling with my PTSD, with my traumatic brain injury, with my anxiety disorders and everything. I focus on fishing. I've been fishing since I was 15 years old. I fished out of a fishing tube since I was probably 17 years old, and love it. It's personal. It was my getaway thing to do when I was growing up. And I sat down and talked with my wife, and I said, this is something I want to do, but I want to build something to give to a veteran so they can experience what I experienced on catching a fish was something that was made for me, for them. So we came up with the idea of fishing with docks. We need to lower down that 22 a day. If we can just save one person from choosing to pull that trigger and grabbing the tools that we have taught a veteran to do. Our mission is complete, and then we continue.
Hey folks, as you can see, we had a tough time at Camelot Bell. The wind was blowing, the weather just didn't cooperate. The fish definitely didn't cooperate with us. So we made a decision. We don't want to let our Purple Heart veteran down. We want to see this through. So we moved over to Medina Lake near Mico, Texas, where we're teaming up our veteran, Juan Rubio, with another veteran and pro staff member of Headwaters For Heroes, Clayton Carver. Take a look at this.
Kind of a wild deal, you know. Everybody from all walks of life fish. But the one thing that I've noticed, everywhere I've went in this country fishing, north, south, east, and west, you will find the American flag at every single one.
Every single one of them.
This one here, it's been battered and tattered, but it's still hanging tough, ain't it?
Yes, it is.
There we go.
Oh, got
there
another
we
one.
go. He come off that tree right there, Doc. Boy, look how skinny that rascal is. Looks like he's been on Slim Fast. Let's take a quick minute here, Doc.
Golly, had
Get back
one.
in there and get him.
Yeah.
There's two ways of rigging these grubs. If you rig it with tail in, meaning the hook point is facing the same way that the tail's curling, it makes it more compact.
Right, okay.
Where if you flip it right the opposite, it makes it look bigger and bulkier.
Oh, okay. Walked into this area and the major noticed a 5-gallon aluminum can that the Iraqi soldiers or insurgents would use as IED markers. And because Perillo was on the radio, he didn't hear the major said, we need to get away from this area because of the tin can. So I tugged on his shoulder, on his blouse, and said, hey Perillo, we need to get out of this area now. And as soon as we turned, the IED went off. It knocked Perillo into me. To this day, I believe that Perillo saved my life. He took 90% of the IED blast and knocked me into a mud hut that was behind us and became unconscious. As I was coming to, I can hear and smell gunfire. I can hear the AK-47s going off. I can hear the M16s, 203s going off, and then I realized that we, the three of us, were in the middle of the firefight. And the first thing I did was I did a quick blood sweep. I made sure that I had no injuries that I had to attend to first, and didn't find any. And I knew Perillo and the major were still out there. So I got my M16. I load crawled about maybe 15 yards to get to Perillo, and at the same time returning fire. And I can see the insurgents going back and forth behind this wall in the huts. And I was just trying to give as much cover so I can get to Perillo. Once I got to him, the radio was just totally damaged. I took it off of him, threw it to the closest Marine. I got his M16 was broken in two, so I threw that to the closest Marine, and I started working on him. The whole time that we were there before we got on the boat, he crashed twice, and I was able to bring him back. And I low crawled and dragged him behind a mud hut so I can continue first aid while at the same time returning fire. Another corpsman came up and ripped my pants and showed me that I was actually injured. I found out that I had shrapnel up and down my right hand of my body, 2 shrapnels in the back of my head, in my elbow, in my leg and thigh. I've put myself in danger so many times before that, well, I got a little too close this time, and they called back a helicopter to pick me up. And the helicopter that I was on was the same helicopter as Perilla was on, and I got really upset. They shouldn't have called his back, because he needed to be the first one to get to El Asad. And that's the story of, because of my actions, that's the story that the military felt that I was awarded the Silver Star and received one of my 2 Purple Hearts.
Doc, how long did you serve in the Navy?
I did 9 years.
9 years.
Just 9 years.
Where all were you stationed at?
Oh goodness. Bethesda, Great Lakes, Portsmouth, and Camp Lejeune. Portsmouth, Virginia.
What all injuries did you end up with?
I got a little bit of everything. I got bullet wounds, got shrapnel, concussions, just a little bit of everything.
Just trying to get the lottery, wasn't you?
Yeah, I was. I didn't learn my lesson the first and second time, but I knew my number was up, and anytime soon, and that worried me. I was able to do a little bit of fishing off the boat on the Euphrates.
Did you really?
Yeah.
You dirty dog.
Yeah, we had a Marine that his family sent him a traveling fishing kit, and it wasn't being used. I said, "Hey, let me borrow your setup?" And got me an MRE and got the meatloaf and used it as bait. And I caught myself a little gar. No, not a gar, a carp.
Really?
A carp-looking fish, yeah.
That was going to be my next question. Did you catch anything?
Yes, I did.
There he is.
That's a good. It's pulling drag. That's a good
Dude,
one.
what do you got? I better get the net.
Yeah, this is.
I better get the net, brother. Hang with him, Doc.
He's a pretty big one.
Big old carp, look at there. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. You got a
That's
catfish.
a cat.
Here, kitty, 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 kitty. Oop, I missed it. There
There
he
it
is. All right, Doc.
There it is.
There.
Woo!
That's what I'm talking about, brother.
Hot dog.
Well, that dude was kicking your hiney, Doc.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he was just a pulling and a pulling. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Got another cat.
Oh, yeah. Hey, at least I ain't got to go anywhere to get the net this time.
Nope. There
There
we
he
go.
is. Dude, that's what
Yes.
I'm talking about. He might not break no records, but man, they are fun.
Yes, they are. Thank you very much. Thank you, Lord Jesus.
Oh, gobble.
There you go.
Whoa. Whoa. It's a bass. Look at there.
Oh my gosh,
Looky
that's
there,
a bass
on yellow corn, buddy.
Yes, you can't beat that. Oh, God, no.
That is outstanding. Hey, that's a
can't
healthy
beat that.
fish. Look at that.
Yeah, it is. Look at that gut.
You bet.
Yeah.
You bet.
The January 1st will always be embedded in me. It's one of the things that I had to learn was to live life again. There's no magical pill. There's no magical therapy. It's the way you learn and gather up these tools and techniques to help cope with these symptoms of PTSD and traumatic brain injuries and anxiety disorders. And you basically have to live life again. It's always going to be a part of you. It will never be erased. So we have to learn to continue to push forward one step in front of the other. And that's what we do.
As you can see, folks, it was another tough day on the water for our fishermen. But you know, that's why they call it hunting and fishing and not killing and catching. It was tough out here, but it was amazing to watch Clay and Juan as they formed that bond of two Purple Heart veterans that served two different parts of Iraq, really come together and share their experiences. It was a great day on the water. Thank y'all for tuning in to Headwaters for Heroes Outdoors. Until next time, have a great day.